Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, we're going to recap a great day, a good bounce back day for me personally. 6-0, bring our season record to 138 and 137. Thank the Lord. We had a 2-6 day yesterday. We followed it up with a 6-0 day today. It was greasy. For a second, I thought Alyssa Thomas wasn't going to play it all in the fourth quarter because they were up by a bajillion points. She did. And then the Dream were down points going into the fourth quarter, and they somehow cover 6.5. So technically, I have gone a little early crow as the Mercury game is not over yet, but they're up by a bajillion points, so I feel okay. I'm going to recap these games real quick, then we'll get on to the picks we got for tomorrow. First game of the day, it was the Golden State Valkyries in Atlanta taking on the Dream. Final score of this one was Atlanta 90, Golden State Valkyries 81. This was really a back and forth game the entire way. Valkyries led by 10 at the end of the first quarter. They held a 2-point lead going into halftime, a 4-point lead going into the final quarter, where they lose by 13 points. They get outscored 26-13 in the fourth quarter. Their big problem, they had way too many turnovers. They had 21 turnovers at a team. They got outshot at the free throw line. Atlanta Dream, 24 free throw attempts. Valkyries, just 9. Let me go into the stats and see who was the problem for the turnovers. It was really their whole team. Tiff Hayes had 6. Veronica Burton had 4. Teammate Fogg Beanley had 4. Monique Billings had 2. Ami here off the bench had 2. I'm confused as to what Nakase is doing with her rotations. She's got Janelle Salon playing 6 minutes a game currently. I guess I get it because she was overseas playing in Eurobasket, but she was a starter before she left, and now she's not even touching the court. Also, why is Kate Martin playing 17 minutes of WNBA basketball? She can't play any defense. That was surprising. Don't know what they're doing with their rotation. Atlanta Dream, though, they scored when it matters. Alicia Gray, 8 of 14 from the field. Brianna Jones, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. She hits her player prop. She's a beast. Jordan Canada had a rough night from the field, but she did have 9 assists. And then star of the game, probably Hillman, not Hamilton, off the bench. 16 points, 6 rebounds. This Atlanta team's good. They're a big team, which is probably why they forced the Valkyries into so many turnovers. Shout out to the Dream for hitting this number. The next game we had was the Mercury and the Wings. We took Mercury minus 5.5, took the over 165.5. Currently, there's 6 minutes left to go in the game. The Mercury are winning 92-66. We have to have a discussion as to what Sammy Whitcomb did to this Dallas Wings team. She has 36 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. She had 29 points at halftime. 29. I think she had 17 in the first quarter, something ridiculous. 12 of 17 from the field, 7 of 9 from deep. This is a 5'10", 145-pound, 36-year-old white woman absolutely torching a bunch of rookies on Dallas. Dallas, you did not have Arike Gumbawale play. You did not have Dejanay Carrington play. Their starting lineup, Paige Beckers, J.J. Quinterly, Isaiah James, what is her name? Louisa Gieselolder. What a sweet last name. And then Lee Ryu, who was the big Asian girl down low. You had off the bench, Maisha Hines-Allen, Tara McCowan, and then Liatu King. This team is not very good. I think whatever they did at home against the Mercury was just an epiphany. I don't know what that was, but anyway. We then had Brianna Jones, points and rebounds, over 20.5. She hit, not by much. She only had 8 at halftime. Then she kind of came alive in the second half. She landed on 22. So it was a sweat for sure. But she got there. She only shot the ball 9 times. Think you can blame Ryan Howard for that, who shot it 14. Stop shooting the ball, Ryan Howard. Then we had Alyssa Thomas, PRA, over 33.5. This was way greasier than it should have been. She currently has 15, 10, and 15, so she's at 40. But for a little bit, I thought they weren't going to play her in the fourth quarter. Thankfully, Tibbetts realized, nah, she's got to get her triple-double. She's got to get back in there. And she ended up hitting. So shout out to the Mercury's coaching team. Not shout out to the Wings, because I thought I was going to lose my PRA bet because they were getting killed by 30. Anyway, that's the recap. That is a much-needed 6-0 day. Let's do it again tomorrow. First of two games we're looking at here, Chicago Sky, Washington Mystics. I'm going to take the Sky on the road plus 6.5 and the under of 160.5. This is the first of many camp basketball games we will have this season. This one tips off at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. This game is going to be absolutely packed with a bunch of 10-year-olds who are at summer camp and are being forced to go to a WNBA basketball game. I don't know about you, but if I was on a bus to a summer camp, if I was on a bus going to a WNBA game in a summer camp, you would not be able to get me off that bus. I would not go in the building. I'd wait outside the building. I'd go play with the homeless people down the street. I don't give a shit. You could not catch me at 10 years old entering a WNBA stadium to watch the Mystics play the Sky. No chance in hell. Chicago Sky, they are 5-12 on the year, arguably not good at basketball. However, they are coming off of a 5-point road loss to the Lynx. I was actually really impressed with how they played. I watched majority of that game. Their biggest problems, one, they missed too many bunnies around the hoop, mostly from Angel Reese, but she's okay, so we don't really hang on her too much. And they have too many turnovers, also from Angel Reese, also from Ariel Atkins, had like 7 turnovers last game. You get your occasional, E-Will turnover, and you're like, yeah, that's okay, because you don't normally pay because Cardoso's out, so it's like, whatever. I mentioned that, though. Cardoso is still not with his team. I think her team is done playing overseas, but she has to travel back. So I think they're getting her back relatively soon. Could be wrong on that, but I think I'm right. But I like the Sky team. They look okay. I just really don't want to lay a number with the Mystics. Mystics are 8-10 on the year. They just got clapped by that same Minnesota Lynx team. They lost to them by 17 points. They have not been getting good performances from Kiki Ariafan and Brittany Sykes. They've both basically tanked for the last 2.5 to 3 weeks of the season. They're really being led by Sonia Citron and Shakira Austin. Don't know what they're doing with Aaliyah Edwards. Don't know what they're doing with Stephanie Dolson. Dolson should retire, and you should move Aaliyah Edwards as your 6th person. That is who should be off your bench. She's very good. But they refuse to do it, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Last time they played the Sky, it was close to a month ago. They won 79-72. That's basically why the line is 6.5. I like the Sky. I think they're playing better basketball. And I'm going to take the under. Normally, when these summer camp games happen, with them being this early, the first quarter, nobody knows what the fuck is going on because they're playing at 11:30 a.m., so they can't put the ball in the hoop. So, summer camp days, we do unders just because no one's ready to play basketball at 11 in the morning. Now, this game, I hate betting because I really don't want to lay another number with the Liberty, and especially against an Aces team that I've backed basically the entire year until they landed on the banned list. But I'm going to have to do it. The Liberty have not covered a game in their last 9. That is 9 straight non-covers, and I'm laying 4.5 against a team who has the best player in the world with Asia Wilson. I hate this, but I have no choice. The Aces, 9-9 on the year, coming off of an 18-point road win against the Sun. Not real much to read into that. The Sun are barely a WNBA basketball team. The only other time they've played the Liberty this year was in the season opener where they lost by 14 points. Again, not sure how much you can read into that game because they had Jonquel Jones, and now the Liberty don't. I'm assuming Asia Wilson absolutely feasts without Jonquel down low. So if you wanted to take Asia for points, rebounds, and assists, I cannot blame you. The guards are who you can't trust. Chelsea Gray looks like a 52-year-old woman in a wheelchair. Jewel Lloyd, they don't know how the fuck to use Jewel. I don't know what Becky Hammond is doing. I don't know what's going on there. Jackie Young's doing okay. If Jackie Young's hitting her shots, it's like, damn, she's a beast. But if she's missing, she gives you nothing defensively. So it's just too inconsistent. That's why they're on the ban list. There ain't nothing about to say. Liberty, they're 12-6. They still look absolutely horrible at basketball without John Quell. I already mentioned they have not covered a single game in their last 9. They're coming off of a 9-point home loss against the Seattle Storm. Breanna Stewart probably had the worst game I have ever seen her play. I think she finished 4 of 17 from the field. They don't play any defense. They also suck at rebounding. I hate this bet. I would not recommend taking this bet. The only thing I feel really good about is taking the over. Neither of these teams play any defense. And if anyone is hitting their shots, this number is going to fly over 165. So I feel much more confident in the over than I do Liberty on the spread. All right, now we're going to look at 2 player props. We are taking Ariel Atkins points, rebounds, and assists over 21.5. This year, Ariel Atkins' shooting numbers, just like every other person on the Sky's shooting numbers, are at an all-time low for her, but she's getting a highest number of shots she's ever taken in a year. You read into that how you want to. I think 21.5 is just too low for a person who is shooting the ball damn near 15 times a game. She has hit this points, rebounds, and assist number in 3 of her last 3 games. She has shot the ball 13, 12, and 16 times. With Cardoso gone down low, it is leaving her to do a lot more of the facilitating. Normally what they do is just chuck it down to Camilla down low, and then she posts up whoever's there. She'll either shoot the ball or kick it out to someone who's open. Now it's basically Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins running the point. No Camilla to drop it off down to, so I think the over 21.5 PRA is good. It is going to be Ariel and Angel doing everything for this team. Next person we're taking, I'm going to take Sabrina, points, rebounds, and assists over 28.5. Again, I think this number is too low. The Aces, they don't know what defense is. The only person that can actually guard on their team is Asia. Chelsea Gray used to be able to play defense, and then Jackie Young tries to play defense, but it doesn't work because they don't know what the fuck is going on. She's hit this number in her last 2 home games. She dropped 37 and 32 PRA. She took 19 and 18 shot attempts in those 2 games. On the road trip, she was not playing well. I think she had what was described as a crick in her neck. She's back home, though. It would appear as though the injury has healed. She's shooting 40% at home from deep in her last 2 games. I trust her. I trust her more than Stewie. Stewie's going up against Asia down low. And if it's not Asia, they're going to switch on to Nalissa Smith, which also pretty good defender. So I'd rather take Sabrina than Stewie. So give me Sab PRA over 28.5. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.